Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Drew, and today we're looking at a 32-foot tiny home and whether or not you can live in it. But before we take a look at the inside, I'm going to show you guys the outside. Let's go take a look. In my opinion, they did just as good a job styling the outside of the home as they did the inside of the home. But let's take a look at the construction of this home. As we get a little bit closer, this does look like a sea can, or it's built out of some sort of steel can. But what it actually is a metal Duraclad. So the siding here is metal Duraclad. The siding up there, which looks like wood paneling, is also a metal Duraclad, and the roof itself, though you can't see here, is a metal Duraclad as well. The only portion of the exterior of the home, with the exception of the windows, that's not built from the metal Duraclad are these panels up here that encase the windows. And what that is it's a concrete-based material. So instead of using this textured Duraclad, they've used that to kind of add to the aesthetic of the exterior of the home. The home has a total width of 8.5 feet, a total length of 32 feet, and a total height of 13'6" from top to bottom. As we come around to the side, you're gonna notice the heat pump, which is gonna be used for your mini split heating and cooling, which you'll find inside. And down below, stamped on the A-frame of the trailer, you'll see Simply Living by Staten Rock. So that's who manufactured this home. If you want to learn more about Simply Living and what they build, I've linked their web address down below in the description. A few more things to mention are the materials used to construct the walls, floor, and ceiling of this tiny home. So the floor joist system is built from 2x8s, the rafter system in the ceiling is built from 2x6, and all the walls on the home are built from 2x4 framing. The insulation they've used in this home is all spray foam insulation. So you have R12 spray foam in the walls and R24 spray foam in the ceiling and floor. On the back side of the home, you'll notice your fresh air inlet right there, some windows, more windows into your kitchen, and then down below here, you'll have 3 7,000-pound axles, and above the axles, you'll have your fresh water inlet there, and then you do have a hot and cold water tap on the exterior of the home as well. And finally, at the back of the home, you'll find this electrical plug, which is a 50-amp service and what your home is going to be running off of. But without further ado, we'll come back to the front of the home and hop inside. Welcome to the interior of the Yaletown tiny home. One of the first things I noticed when I walked inside was the color combination they used in here. So we've got an off-white on the walls, a brown ceiling, brown treads on the stairs, brown countertops, and then we've got gray down below here, and then a tan floor, and then everything is accented with black hardware. So it's got 5 different colors almost in here, but they all come together and make this really cool industrial modern look, which I really like. Before we get into this space of the home, I want to turn around and show you guys this room right here, located at the very front of the house. I think this is my favorite room in the house, and the reason for that is I love dark colors. But it's uncommon to find dark colors in a tiny home just because normally when you have dark colors, it makes a room feel smaller. But they've done a really good job in this space, so let me show you. Starting on our left here, they've left this wall kind of blank, and that's where I would say you could probably put a couch or maybe a dining set if you had to. Up top here, you have a plug-in, and this is probably where you might be able to draw cable from. Up top here, they put in a nice big window, so that's gonna let in lots of your natural light. And then at the top corner, what this is it's a fresh air inlet. So you can unscrew it like this, and as you unscrew it, it's gonna back away from the wall and it's gonna let fresh air in. So this is how, and you can see it a little bit on the camera there, there's a few of these located around the house, and that's how you're gonna be able to bring fresh air into your tiny home. Just below the window here is going to be your light switch, the on and off switch for your LED lighting in the ceiling. Directly in front of us, we have a board and batten feature wall, which is nice because instead of leaving it blank, they've actually added texture. And then down below here, we have plugs on either side, which you can see. And then this is just the screens for the window above me here. Up top, you can see the shed style roof. So instead of having a peaked roof on either side, it comes up in the middle. This is just straight across on an even plane, which I think is a really cool design. Finally, against this wall, so we have a nice large window here bringing in more light, and then they put in this little built out piece. So it's made out of shiplap, and then you've got a little LED fireplace down below, which does give off electric heat. And then down below again, you have plugins in the corner. So here you can mount a TV on the wall, have your fireplace below, maybe put in a little mantle there, and then have your couch or dining set up here, depending on how you wanted it. And then this makes for a really cool little hangout space, which again, I think this is my favorite room in the house. Another cool feature they've added are these 2 barn sliding doors. Barn style doors, what do you call them? They look like barn doors. So if you need privacy while you're watching your favorite movie, you just close this up to the rest of the tiny home. The next room I want to show you guys is the loft. Let's take a look. The loft is accessible by these stairs, which I believe are a solid walnut. If I'm wrong, I'll put it on the screen. Welcome to the loft space. So this is really the only designated bedroom for the home, unless we were to use that room down there. But again, I would probably devote that to a living space, and this would be your main bedroom. So if you don't like lofts, this is not the tiny home for you. I do have a love-hate relationship with this little half wall here. And the reason for that is it looks really good with the glass paneling, the black metal outlining, but the reality is this is gonna be my bedroom space. And therefore, since we have glass paneling, if I have people over, they can see directly into my bedroom. On the other hand, it is a tiny home, and even if that was blocked off, if I have shelving or something behind here, people can still see up the stairs into my bedroom, so I don't know if it's really that big of a deal. But again, for the aesthetic, I think it looks really, really cool. For everyday living, I don't know if I want that. So I'm torn, but let me know what you think in the comments about this half wall with glass paneling. As we get up into the loft here, there's a couple things to note. One is that you have a huge amount of floor space here, and you can easily fit a king or queen size bed there. And that is one benefit of having this, is that it's only tied in by like 3 anchor points on each post. So you could just remove that if you're putting a larger bed up here and have no problem at all. Another thing I love about the loft is all the windows that you get. So you get one against the back wall here, one there, and one up top. Mind you, that's kind of out of the way, but you have so much view up top here. So when you wake up in the morning, you can just look out and you can see all of your surroundings, which is really cool. This up here is my favorite part about the loft. You even get a skylight. I haven't been in here when it's been raining, so I don't know if that's gonna be something to worry about while you're trying to sleep and hearing rain fall on that window. But I think that's a really cool design and not something you see all the time inside of a loft space. The loft also has plug-ins, so you got some in the corner here. Over there you have the same ones, and then you also have USB plugs in that corner. And then you've got your light switch here for all of your pot lights, which are recessed into the ceiling here and are all LED. And then you've got another plug-in right there. Just in case you wanted to see how much headroom you have up here. So obviously, as I get closer this way, this is where you have the least amount of headroom. And if you go to this side of the shed roof, you get a little bit more. So I could sit up here and have plenty of headspace, maybe read a book, but keep in mind, if I have a mattress under me, I'm gonna be up a little bit higher. So yeah, there's not tons of space. And the view you get sitting here looking out the skylight is pretty sweet. As we exit the loft, you'll see the kitchen down below here, and then just above the door to the front room, you're gonna see the mini split heating and cooling system. That's gonna control your heat and air conditioning. Now that we're back downstairs, I do wanna take note of the windows. So you have a really large window here, window just above the kitchen sink. Of course, all the windows we just looked at up there. The door has plenty of windows, and the rear room has plenty of windows. So what that does is it brings in tons of natural light to the space of a tiny home, and it makes the space feel a lot larger than it is. Another thing to note is all of these windows are dual pane windows as well. So this home is set up for 4-season living. Now let's take a look at the kitchen. So right across from the door, you have this, and this is gonna be a bar tabletop where you can put stools below. So this will be your main formal dining area, and have a nice view out the window to see a manufactured home right up there. This bar top does have quite a bit of space, so you can easily fit a dinner plate, cups, and anything you need to be eating in regular fashion. Moving forward is the kitchen. And so the kitchen space, you've got counter space on this side, a little bit between the stovetop and the sink here, and again, a little bit on the side. And then you do have plugins there, and then on the other side, right here as well. The sink is stainless steel and is a really large size, so you can fit pretty much anything you need to in there to wash and get out of the way. Moving forward here, we do have a 4-burner stove, and this is going to be all electric. This home does not have gas or anything of that nature. It's just going to be straight electric off of your 50-amp shore power. Above the stovetop here, you do have a little overhead fan as well with some LED lighting. Towards the back of the kitchen, in terms of appliances, you have this wall oven, which is really cool. And then below that, you actually get a dishwasher, which I haven't really seen in any other tiny home. So that's kind of a cool feature. Just across from the dishwasher, you do have a full-size residential fridge and freezer below. So you have plenty of space to store all the food, groceries, anything that you do have and need to keep cool. It's gonna fit in there. And then this, in regular tiny home fashion, right next to the fridge, you have a full stacking washer and dryer. And this, of course, is super important to have. Some tiny homes will have the combo units, so it's gonna wash and dry in one. These are way better. It does take up a lot of room, but these are really important to have. Next up, let's take a look at the storage space we have. So down here, just above the oven, we do have 2 shelves, and everything built in here is actually custom built cabinetry. So this didn't come in a kit from anybody. This is actually built in-house at Simply Living. By the range hood, we have a little bit of shelf space there and some above it as well. Back down towards the countertop, we've got this little oven mitt drawer. That's what I call it anyway. And then we have a little bit more space down here, and that goes all the way to the back wall. And here, underneath the stovetop, you get a large drawer, and that's packed with the owner's manuals and everything you need with the home. And below it, this is a little bit deceiving. It's actually a short drawer, and it's likely just because you have plumbing running behind there. Just below the sink, of course, you're gonna have your standard layout. Down here is really nice because they've laid everything out really carefully, and they've labeled everything as well. So you'll never have a question as to what it is and how it works, because it's all laid out, it's all marked and labeled, and you know exactly what it is, why it's there, and what to do with it. On the far end of the countertop, you get another drawer here, and then just below it, some storage space down there. In addition to what you'll find in the kitchen, don't forget you also have storage space underneath the stairs here. So let's check that out. Down below here, this is kind of a unique spot. So the cupboard door folds down, and then you have 2 different slots the same size to put anything you need. One of my favorite parts about the storage in the staircase are these little open cubbies. And this is cool because you can store anything you need in there that's a regular use item or you need quick access to. And you've got 1, 2, 3 there. They're all the same size. Right now I'm using it as a coat storage, but they have lots of space in there to store anything you need. And again, it's stuff that you need every day and quick access to. So I like that they put that in. As for the larger cabinets, you have 1 down here. And so you're gonna have 3 shelves with really good space here as well for storing all your food. And this huge cabinet is actually super misleading. What's behind here is actually the home's 65-liter hot water tank, and then you get a really small amount of storage below here. This is a little unfortunate because there is such thing as a hot water on demand unit, and so that could have easily been implemented with this tiny home, but instead they went with this. Last but not least, let's check out the home's bathroom. Welcome to the bathroom. So that's the door that I just entered through. And right along here, they put in quite a bit of storage, which is really nice, especially in a bathroom, to be able to put toiletries, towels, shower stuff, anything you need that belongs in a bathroom, you can definitely store in here. And all the shelves are adjustable as well. If we take a step back, you're gonna see that they do have a 1-piece fiberglass shower. So they don't have the shower curtain, which I'm not sure why they didn't include, but obviously you can find a little curtain rod and put a curtain in yourself. They do actually have an option where they can remove the storage from this side and they can put in a bathtub there. So instead of having just a stand-up shower and storage space, you can remove the storage and you can put in a bathtub with a shower nozzle up top as well. So that's one thing that they do offer. Turning around, you do have, of course, the toilet down here at the bottom, and it has a foot flush, very similar to an RV. You do have a towel rod here, and then a little hanging spot right up beside the window. I don't know if you can see it there. There. And then right next to the toilet, of course, you have the vanity, a little spot to hang a towel here. This is where you're gonna be able to monitor your tank capacities. And they've installed this really nice looking mirror, and it does a couple things. One is just gonna be lighting. And then over here, it's got this little heat emblem on there. So what I think happens is as you shower and it gets all steamy in here, it keeps the mirror from steaming out. The sink, of course, is a really good size. You have plenty of room on either side of the sink for toothbrushes, soap, or whatever else you need. And then of course, down below here, you'll have a little bit of space to store anything else you might need. And of course, right next to the shower, you do have an overhead fan to prevent any moisture from getting into the ceiling. So what do you guys think? Could you live in this tiny home? Let me know in the comments. If you're someone who's looking for more information on Simply Living and the homes they build, I've linked their website in the description below for you guys to check them out. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.